Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Time for Tidbit Tuesdays. So I touched on last week, I kind of hinted at what I was going to talk about this week. And I want to talk about the EOBs, which are explanation of benefits that you receive from insurance companies. A lot of people are confused about this and don't even understand, I know I shouldn't use terminology like EOBs, but that's what we call them in the industry, explanation of benefits. And these are really critical that you review them when you receive them. Because what an EOB is, it is what the insurance company shows how they processed your claim. And this is important for a number of reasons. The first one being to make sure that the claim was processed correctly. I've seen all different kinds of claims that say, didn't pay because a person didn't have insurance, which has come up to be untrue, or they process it wrong and don't pay it for various different reasons. So looking at that to determine what it shows, all the charges are correct, the balance you owe with the patient responsibility should match what your plan details say, whether it's a copay or it applied to deductible. And then you can use those EOBs to match against the provider bill that you receive. This is important because, again, a lot of times things are processed wrong. You want to make sure the provider has applied your payments and any discounts correctly to your bill so that you are paying the correct amount. This happens a lot. I can't tell you how many times. And quite honestly, it's hard to do. I like to print it. I like to print my EOBs if they don't mail me one. I like to print my EOBs so I can match it up against a provider bill I've received in the mail. So you can check off line items, make sure it's all correct. I don't want someone to overpay. Insurance pays incorrectly sometimes. Providers bill incorrectly a lot of times. And by doing this simple task, back in the day when people used to balance checkbooks, but if you run a business, you do have to balance out and reconcile all your stuff every month. This is part of your reconciliation process. And it's very important to do. So again, you're not paying for a bill that you shouldn't be paying for, that it's been processed correctly, and that you owe the correct amount. It's easy to match line. It should be easy to match line by line what they paid. You can always call the insurance company and ask questions. You can always call the doctor's office. I can't tell you how many times I help clients with this. They ask me, I can't see your claims because that's HIPAA protected. So you have to send me your stuff if you want me to look at it. And I can see a lot of times where there's mistakes or errors, and I give my client a direction, call the doctor's office. It looked like, did you have this done? They billed you for this. And there's a lot of times doctor's offices bill for things that didn't happen. Shocking. When insurance didn't pay for something that they should have paid for. All kinds of things. You've got to look at this every time you get an EOB or a claim has been processed. So that's my tidbit for this week. Very important. It's a really good way to also understand your insurance, so you understand how it pays. And if you have questions, people know that they can reach out to me. So until next week, peace out.